love having you here. And we host this webinar quarterly to walk through the latest features and enhancements that we've delivered over the last few months. If you are new to ShareFile in general, of course, this is an overview of what you'll be seeing today and what we'll be covering by our product marketers. And in our Q&A and chat section, we do have some of our really awesome support engineers and teammates that can help answer any questions you may have while we go through everything. Overall, ShareFile is a client experience software built to help teams work securely and efficiently. And of course, from sharing files, which ShareFile, and collecting signatures and requesting information, analyzing data, and managing to-do lists, our focus here is to create a structured, seamless experience all in one place. So today we'll highlight a few of the newest updates and show you how to use them to streamline your workflows and elevate your client experience. Our presenters today are myself, Latobia Avon, Product Marketing Specialist, Meeta Sharma, she is our Product Marketing Manager, Suraj Kumar, who is our Lead Product Marketing Manager, and we also have Stacy Schrader, who is our Senior Product Marketing Manager as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. As you can see here, this is just a lovely shot of what you may know as your ShareFile dashboard. I will get started with our navigation updates, which recently rolled out on December 8th. You may have noticed them if you log in on our ShareFile web app. This is just going to help you get support faster, find help documents, and even add a little color and personalization. We have moved our help center from the lower right corner up to the dash at the top, the header at the top. It is now a question mark. And once you click into that, you can see you're getting started, tooltips, what's new in ShareFile, which is where we'll place any new rollouts. You can contact your customer support engineer, support articles, and how-to videos. And this is going to just give you easier access to all the things that you need to walk you through your ShareFile web application. And of course, we want you to personalize your workspace with a photo so that you become recognizable to your team, to your clients, and just, give your space a little extra jazz.
Awesome. We're going to move on to the next feature, which is one-time codes. If you didn't know this had existed, this actually just rolled out last week. So it's very, very new, which is really exciting. And this specifically is for client users only. So I will caveat that in the next couple of features that we talk about too. But this is probably a very descriptive title, but as you can tell, this one-time codes helps you authenticate a lot faster and help your client users get into their client portal a whole lot faster than they have before. So maybe you have those infrequent users that come to their client portal maybe 1 time, 2 times a year, and they've forgotten their password. They can now get into that client portal a whole lot faster just with the one-time codes. I will walk you through that and so you can see it as well. So as you can see with the screenshot, they have the option of selecting a one-time code or using their password to authenticate to get into their client portal. This is sent directly to their email. So they would then go to their email to access that code and then obviously enter it in to log into that client portal. This one-time code is valid for 20 minutes. This is also very hassle-free. A lot of our users have been asking for this, so we know this is going to be very popular. But this will have to be enabled by the admin on the ShareFile account to allow client users to use one-time codes. So if you're looking forward to utilizing this, you will have to go into your admin settings and get it loaded on there. This is just a quick little demo of what that looks like for your client users. So they have that password option, or they can click one-time code. It will email them. It'll look just like that. And you can take that code and then easily plug it in, and then they log in. Again, if you want to utilize this, you will have to go into your admin settings and turn it on. We just wanted to make sure all of you were wanting to have this feature turned on for your clients before automatically turning it on for your entire account. So next is another authentication update that's happened in the past week as well. This is called social sign-in. So this is also for client users as well. Specifically, this is an update for Microsoft. If you've been following along with this webinar series, we talked about this a couple of webinars ago, but for Google. So you now have the option to have social sign-in for your client users with either Google accounts or Microsoft accounts as well now. Again, very similar to that one-time codes, just offering you more ways to make frictionless access for your client users into ShareFile really seamless. If you're new to what social sign-in is, it basically connects with their personal accounts, whether that be Google or Microsoft in this instance, and they can choose to authenticate to get into their ShareFile account with that personal account with Google or Microsoft. So they would just, once this is turned on, again, admin has to make sure this is enabled on the accounts to allow client users to use this. They will be able to add their Microsoft account, make sure it's linked, and then they can use that to log into their client portal instead of using a password. Again, really, really helpful for people that may come here infrequently as client users to authenticate with those personal accounts, and they're not having to remember those passwords, especially if they're not using it a ton. And it really streamlines their experience as well, being able to utilize several different accounts to log in a secure experience into ShareFile. So this is just a screenshot of what that looks like on their screen. If you enable Microsoft or Google or both, they will get prompted both options to authenticate with. In this instance, since Microsoft is new, I'm just showcasing the Microsoft one, but we also have that Google option too. And this is also only available, I want to caveat again, for client users. And then the Google or Microsoft account that they do choose must be a personal account. So it can't be connected to a work account. And that is what it will look like inside their client portal. And they can see where they can either connect them or delete them and add a different kind of sign-in option, whether that be Google or Microsoft. Moving on to our next feature, which is the Client Hub. We have talked about this, I think, a couple webinars again, but there was some updates that happened in the past few months that I did want to call out. And if you're new to the Client Hub and you haven't heard this before, this is a great time to learn more about it. So the Client Hub is basically client management inside of your ShareFile account. The Client Hub is not client facing, so whatever you're going to see in this demo that I show you shortly, your client will not see it. It's only an internal resource. It's basically one way to organize and centralize all of your client resources inside of one area inside of ShareFile. So if you have, for example, several ShareFile folders that are connected to a client that are shared with that client, you can now connect them under a client entity inside of ShareFile. So I will show you what that looks like shortly with that demo, but I just wanted to talk more about sort of the value of and why you would use this. So inside the Client Hub, as you can see in the screenshot, you can list several different ways of clients and how you use them. So for example, I know many people work with organizations, and maybe you have several different client contacts that you work with from that organization. You're able to build a client entity inside the Client Hub. So for example, you can see Busy Bee at the very bottom as an organization. And inside of that client entity, you can link numerous different client contacts. So if you work with Susie, if you work with Tobia, if you work with Suraj from Busy Bee, you can now link them inside that single resource and then connect all of the files that are attached to Busy Bee, all the resources, the signature requests, the projects you may be working with, the document requests, the forms, everything can live inside that single space. It makes this really easy to stay organized with clients because, as you know, it may be hard to identify where all those folders may live inside of your environment. And then it also is really easy to work with other coworkers or colleagues that are working on those same clients to have the visibility on all those files and any other kind of resources you may have linked to that client. This is now in an opt-out beta for premium plans and above. What that means is it's turned on for all those premium accounts. For some reason, if you don't see this in your environment, you may have had an admin turn it off in your environment. So if you're curious and want to play around with it, you could reach out to your admin to get this turned on. But this should be now turned on automatically for all premium accounts. Now I just wanted to quickly walk through a demo of what this looks like inside of the ShareFile environment. So Client Hub will live on the left navigation of ShareFile. So you can click right into there, and then you can see in my demo environment, I have a bunch of different clients loaded there already, but you can create a client inside of this space, or you can load an existing contact into this space too, if you want to just link all of their folders that are maybe existing already. And then right now you're seeing me creating Bright River Group as an organization where I can link several different contacts to that organization. And then this is where you can assign team members to that space too, so they can have all the visibility on that client and their resources. Those are the several different client contacts I have for Bright River Group. And you can see all the different files and folders I have attached to that client. And you can also attach projects. So maybe you have document request list with that client, forms with that client, maybe task and to-dos with that client can also be linked in this space. And if you're also in our accounting space and you utilize the tax solution, this is also centralized inside of the Client Hub as well. And just a reminder, the Client Hub is not customer facing. This is just a tool internally to really manage a lot of the client work that you're doing with those external parties. All right, well, we will move on to the next one, editable Word templates.
Right, thanks, Stacy. Hi, everyone. So the next few updates are going to be around some of the improvements and enhancements that we've made around the signature experience within ShareFile. The editable Word templates, if you are familiar with Write Signature, if you've used Write Signature, you know that this has existed there. Now we brought this on to ShareFile's native e-signature experience as well. And what this enables you to do is prepare document templates using MS Word, in a reusable format, right? So let's move on. Right, so directly from MS Word with a ShareFile for Word add-in installed on the MS Word app, you can create and reuse documents, in one go, for various different kinds of uses, right? So that way you do not have to recreate from scratch document templates, which was the case earlier when you had just the option of using PDF templates with ShareFile. So now when you have an editable Word template, you're able to make small modifications to existing documents, in MS Word and reuse those templates without having to go on and on again, from the scratch from a different Word file that you would then, individually in MS Word, you would make some changes to it, and then you would save it as PDF and then upload it as a PDF template within your ShareFile repository. So what this enables you to do is, prep your documents for signature faster. And obviously this smoothens your signature workflows. As you can see on the screenshot, you have both the options. But for the editable Word template capability to work, you will need to install the ShareFile for Word add-in in MS Word. Let's move on to the next one where we can actually walk you through a live action demo of this. Okay, so once you come onto the templates section on ShareFile and create a document template, you would be presented with this option upon selecting editable Word templates. You would be required to upload a doc file. This can come either from your ShareFile repository or from your device. That would open up the MS Word application, and to the right you would see the add-in in action where you can define roles that you're trying to send the signature request to. You can add fields like signature, date, additional text like address, things like that. And once you hit save, your document template is created. And once your document template is created and ready, you can send it, as a signature request. As you can see at the top, there's an option called Send as Signature Request. So your document is ready to be sent for signature right from this workflow. There's also the option that you can see at the top right that says edit in Microsoft Word. So if you need to make some minor changes to this, to this template, you just click on that and it loads up the same document template, and you can remove certain fields or certain parts of the document and just save, and it's ready for signatures again. The next one is essentially a capability that lets you send document templates in bulk in one go. So you can send up to 300 signature requests from a single Word template. Let's again move on to the next slide here, Stacy. What this simply enables you to do is, if you have functions like employee onboarding, or if you have annual client retainer renewals that you need to do, this comes in handy. So you can upload a CSV file, or you can leverage your ShareFile's contacts list, or also Salesforce to essentially pull a list of signer parties that you would want to send a signature request to. So this would be for individual signers at the moment, but you are able to send the template to up to 300 people at one go. So that's essentially speeding up your workflow there. There are fewer manual errors because information is already structured either from ShareFile, Salesforce, or the CSV that you would upload. So repeat sends or mistakes around copy paste, things of that sort are prevented already. And all of this obviously generate a tracking record as well, because each of these signature requests is going to get recorded in a particular folder as well. Let's move on and take a look at the demo here. Right, so again, on the template section, you can see that you would have created a bulk send document, or it could be any name that you would give to it. Once the document loads up, the template loads up, you send a signature request. You have obviously the option to send this to an individual signer, but you can also send it as bulk. So upon clicking that send as bulk option, you are presented with options of how you want to send the document across. So here we are uploading a CSV file which contains the name and email addresses. You're able to see that there are 30 signers that we are trying to send this request to. Alrighty, and it shows you how many signers there are towards the right side. And once you hit preview and send, that pretty much is straightforward how it works. And you can also select a specific sign-on authentication mechanism. You can define which folder the signatures will come back to, the signed documents will come back to, again, for your simpler tracking once the signatures are done by the signed party, by the parties required to sign. This is essentially taking e-signatures to a more centralized place. So the client portal is where you have document request lists, you have information request lists, you have now also the capability to have your clients sign documents all from one place. So if there are multiple documents that you need them to sign, especially during the onboarding phase, they don't need to open multiple emails. There's no need for that back and forth follow-up. They can just log into the client portal, and all of the document requests or the signature requests actually should show up right in one place. Let's move to the next one. Yeah, so I think what this essentially helps you do is, the fact that clients are able to track what's open for them to work on. It provides a simpler experience, because if there are multiple files, instead of opening multiple emails, they can do everything from one window at one time. It also gives them a clear visibility of what's pending with them. And so your email follow-ups are not the norm, there may be an exception. And so this just improves the client turnaround time. It improves the success, the percentage of clients actually doing the needful, and so it essentially speeds up work for everybody involved. Let's move on to the next one, and we'll see a quick demo of this as well. Right, so they get an email, informing them that, hey, you have a signature request that's coming. Log into the client portal. So this is for a new client contact that did not even have access to a client portal yet. And so the workflow is seamless in getting them to actually create an account and to log into the client portal and see that there is a signature request. It pops up the necessary compliance dialog box. and they can, call out their name, they can type or draw their signature and just send it across. And what was in open tasks, once the signature is completed, it's going to reflect in completed tasks. The client also has the option to download the file as PDF once they've signed the document. While we are on client experience, another enhancement that we've done is we've recently launched this mobile app called ShareFile for Clients. This came as a request from many of our customers, and we've also noticed that a good number of client users use a mobile device to log on to the client portal, which was a web version that we were just talking about. It just is a better, more seamless experience that clients have now a mobile app. So it lets them submit information, fill up forms, upload files, and sign documents from their mobile devices. The mobile device's camera adds up as sort of a scanner. So if there are paper documents, clients can simply click a pic of it and upload those as PDF documents as well. So again, this is an attempt that we've seen a lot of clients now start to use. Where they're able to respond to requests from you guys, their service providers faster, no matter where they are. Sometimes these requests would come when they're not in front of their desk, right, or they are out on a break somewhere. So this just simplifies the client workflow, but it also means that they are able to do things faster when they actually have time to do this, and it's not halting up your work as well. So it's providing that consistent experience and also moving work faster. So this is essentially the client logging in to ShareFile with their client account, and they see the tasks that are open for them, which are indicated by different colored icons. So upload documents is in blue, and then you have signature requests in green, and so on. Here you can see that there is the option to click a pic of a paper document using the camera of the device. So this, again, this works both on iOS and Android. There are both versions of the app available on smartphones as well as tablets. So as you can see here, the paper document was uploaded and it gets saved as a PDF, and it's the client can just submit it, and that's going to reflect in the completed tab as well here. They can fill out the forms just as they do today, information requests on the client portal on the web. They're able to do this here as well. So a quick note here. So we also have a demo video of this on YouTube. We have a reference email template that you can use to share information about this client mobile app with your client users. So anybody that you've sent a signature request to, or you've sent an information request to, or added them to projects as a client user, can now access the client mobile app. Alrighty, that is with my updates. I'll move this on to Meeta.
Hi, everybody. I will walk you through an enhancement to projects close behavior. Many of you here manage a lot of client work, multiple client engagements, and I'm sure a lot of you would agree that most client engagements don't end cleanly. They just seem to just stop and they fade out. Files will just stop moving, requests will either go incomplete. There's a sense of abruptness to this. And then months later, let's say during a year-end review, or you're sitting down with the client once again, or there's a regulatory audit that's taking place, it's likely that someone would step up and ask, so is this engagement actually finished? Is the work actually done and closed? That ambiguity is exactly what project close behavior is designed to solve. Project close, essentially, this is a feature that gives a clear, intentional indication of an end state of a project. It's a formal signal internally and to your clients. This is a signal that both these parties receive, that an engagement has officially come to a close. So when you move a project from open to close, and you do this by clicking on the three dots, the more options that you see next to a project, and you choose change to close, you're essentially saying that the work is now officially done, engagement is complete, no further action is required at this point. The only reason why this is essential in projects today, first from a place of clarity, client work demands that you set certain clear boundaries, whether it's for audits, compliance, billing, internal reviews. assuming something is done is a risk. Second, there's a matter of control. Open projects will almost always invite risk. There is worry whether somebody can tamper with an existing engagement, the data, the artifacts that are shared with it. The closed behavior solves for both of these, that it's going to ensure clarity that the work is in fact come to a close, and there's control in terms of that no further action can be taken on this. So how do you use it? Once you want to, let's say, end an engagement, not delete it, but just make sure that it is something that is finally marked as an end. Simply open the project menu, select change to closed. And when you select project is changed to closed, it becomes read only. No new requests, no new actions, no tasks, nothing can be added any further. The full history of the engagement will remain intact as is and accessible. And should you, let's say, wish to reopen the project, you can absolutely do that as a creator. But in a closed state, the engagement is intentionally logged. Nothing will drift, nothing will change this point onward. What you can use it for. This is really helpful if you are required to maintain a clean audit trail, clearly communicate to your customers, your regulators, partners about a completion state. It is a great way to hand off an assignment or an engagement to the billing team, review team, and for archiving purposes. So project close behavior, you're encouraged to use it, not just to, shut work down. Essentially, it's a little bit more than that. It's about closing the loop on an engagement in a clean, visible, secure manner. And that's all.